Thank you everybody, organizer Gitaji, for giving me an opportunity to talk to your gathering of achievers, mentors, well-wishers, advisors, and grassroots workers. Role of women, rural women in socio-economic development. It is very well reflected in this paper. All women, one man, Kailash Mishra, and one more man. We're just giving the concluding remarks. Poor Jay, Mr. Maxi. So, thank you for giving us a space for making like this. You know, it is the biggest thing. It is heuristic, self-explained. It explains the power of women in a very, very dynamic way. You know, I am the son of a Gandhian. My father was the Secretary General of Chota Nagpur Khadi Gram Udyog Sangh. Now, Chota Nagpur is now known as Jharkhand. And when you were reading your paper, presenting everything, I went back to my childhood days when my father used to work with the tribes and the women, and they used to spin, weave, and they used to wear. And then my father used to remind me a popular thing, a statement of Vinoba, जो पहने वो गाते, जो गाते वो बुने, जो बुने वो उपजाए. Those who are spinning should weave, those who are weaving should wear, and those who are wearing should produce. If you create this kind of atmosphere, it will be a total inclusive atmosphere. This I heard from the mouth of my father, and this I have experienced here with the Read India. Thank you so very much for your this very, very creativity. It's a very emotional thing for me. You know, I am sandwiched between two great women again, a speaker, Sonal Ved and Sonia Bhandari. Sonal Ved has spoken about Gandhian, approach of bringing, or she has given you the data, how we are ruining the water, how we are ruining the biosphere, 2,000 liter water for one t-shirt. This word use this thing, and 20,000 liters of water for one denim pairs. My God, God save India. India is really in a very pathetic conditions. But when we are talking of culture, there is a very popular saying about culture. Jadda Vishuddham, Lok Viruddham, Nacharayam, Nakarayam. If you are doing something which is against the tradition of the society, we must not do this. We must not practice such thing. So the imposed thing of development, industrial development, the complete word of industrial in capital bracket and this bold italic should be avoided. But we can't avoid industry. You have to create an internal management, internal necessity of industrialization. We should not go against industrialization. We have to create industrialization of our own, which should be according to our traditions. And traditions are never against the nature. Because when we are talking about culture, culture and nature, they are woven together. There can't be culture without nature. If you go to the tribal area, they are worshipping the trees. You go to Santhal, they are worshipping 7 trees, and they find their gods and goddesses there. They are worshipping hills, mountains, rivers, valleys. That is their life. So you can't dissociate their nature from their culture. Culture is adaptive with the nature. So that is the beauty of nature and culture. Coming back to the women, those who are experts of economics know very well that India is the fastest growing nation in creating the job opportunities for the women. If you have any doubt, please correct yourself. We are the fastest growing nation in the world for creating the job opportunities for the women. But we are going towards the very, very bad situation. Rape cases increasing in India. Women's stress is increasing in India. Women are in complete restlessness situations. So these are the situations in India occurring. We are committing crimes against women because she's a mother, she's a wife, she's working somewhere. So husband is very demanding. He needs his share of time from his wife. Children need mother. And the workplace where she is working, workplace needs her. So you are creating job for her, but you are putting her into great trouble. And here comes the role of culture. You have said one thing, that they can work in this project, for this project, with this project, according to the availability of her time and choice of her time. So she can create the part-time job. When I talk of culture, I go to my mother. My mother is non-literate. She can't write her name. And if my mother moves with me in India, she will be moving with me with her needle and thread. And if she is weaving with me her needle and thread, let me start my journey from Bengal, Kandha. Then come back to Bihar, Sujni and Kethri. Then come back to Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow ka chicken work. You know, so that way, that come back to Punjab, you know, that Phulkari. Then go to Himachal Pradesh, that shawl. That way, I am creating a map of India with the thread and needle of my mother, and that will be India. Now, if we encourage our women to create the product of cultures like one product she has started, those products she will be engaging. And if the women know that she is not just a labor, she is an artist, she is a creator, she is the custodian of culture, she is promoting the culture, she will feel very, very happy. And those who are away, all the diaspora, who are away from their native land, if they are getting those products, they will feel very happy to retain those items. So, by creating those products, you are not only creating the products, you are creating the markets also. I will give you one example. I am from the famous Madhubani painting area. We have now initiated one thing. We requested, like we are requesting everywhere from the world, people are coming and buying our products. Now we are requesting each and every Maithili family to buy at least one painting, and they should have one painting in every room of their house. And we said, you tell us your limitation, your financial capacity, will give you this. Now people are coming, thousands of people are coming every day. We want to buy Madhubani painting, we want to buy Madhubani painting. So it is not only the creating of painting, it is also we are creating the job opportunity or creating the buyers. Buyers are coming out and they are buying the products. This is wonderful example. You know, when we are talking of Indian art, we must know that utility and beauty in Indian art, they are woven together. There is not a single piece of Indian art which is done, practiced or created without any reason. If there is something, it has a reason, it has a purpose, it has a utility. So if you are producing anything, you know, what I wanted to say, present and give PowerPoint presentation here. When I came, I saw the artist, you know, making basket and with all those things. I said, Gitari, my purpose is over. What I wanted to show, your artists have been doing this, exhibiting this. This is wonderful. You know, I see it in an art gallery, Vetika. When you are creating this thing, what is art? The food that you eat is an art. I have with me Manish Anand. Manish is into the delicacy market. He creates food products from his native land. And people in Madhubani, Mumbai, Delhi and Kanpur, they are buying these products. Because with this product is becoming a nostalgic thing for them. They say, oh, they connect with this product, they connect themselves with their native land. They buy it. They have the capacity to pay for it. So forget about the other people. Others will follow it. If we all, those who are from that land, living anywhere in the world, are nostalgic, are creative, we have love for our products, we will buy. A market will be created. When with Reed, I went to Manipur and other areas, we saw some mothers and they were very helpless because children from very early age they started thinking and so many things I don't want to mention. They died very early age, mates, so many widows. And what should they do? How to live in this world? When we said, you tell us what we want to do, they said we want to do something which is linked up with our cultures. So they came out with the food product, they came out with the clothes, the weaving. You know, the Northeast weaving is the best in the world. You'll see the Naga song and all those things. They came out. And believe me, if they are properly produced, made, marketed, you don't need to bring those items here. They can be sold in the local market itself. And we can learn from the community. You know, Manipur, there is a market. In every block, there is a market called Emma market. Emma means mother. So that market is the mother's market. And all the sellers would necessarily be mothers, women. They go there, the entire market belongs to them. They sell their products, anybody can come and buy. The sellers would be women. So this kind of situation we create. I am always hopeful. I wrote so many letters to the Chief Minister of Delhi and also to the Prime Minister of Delhi that we should have at least one market in Delhi, like we have Delhi Haat and all those things. We should have Mahila, where all the women should go and sell their products and everybody should have right to go and come. That will create a unique opportunity for our women. Because culture in Hindi is a feminine thing. Sanskriti स्त्रीलिंग होता है and it has a meaning. Culture, if you really want to know culture, you have to respect your women, because every element of culture, the softness, the tender, the curvature, the color composition, the tune of music, everything comes from the women. So they are the real custodian of culture, and I think it is our culture that can create the atmosphere, create and nurture the atmosphere of business potential for the women, that those who are engaged with Read India. Read India's library, according to me, is the second generation of Frankfurt School of Public Space and Public Sphere by Habermas. Habermas talk of public space and public sphere. What is this public space and public sphere? He says the place where everybody can come and without any hesitation and sense of fear can express his and her desire. So when we see the Read India Library, you create a space where a teacher, where a student, a mother, a worker, an old man, an old lady, all can come together, discuss their affairs, create the job opportunities, that too in a fearless atmosphere, no fear. And they know that if they have any problem, they are the agencies in the village, they are the agencies in Delhi, they are agencies in USA. So they are sitting here and the whites are coming from everywhere in the globe to help them, to make them real global. So you know you are a kind of a nucleus, very nucleus, where everything is created in the root, and root is made universal. Language is a secondary thing, because Hindi is a very powerful language today. Why it is powerful language? Because of the workforce, because of the market. Hindi film industry is a very powerful industry. All great people of English scholarship, they write their stories in Hindi. They direct Hindi film. Because why? Because there is a market in Hindi film. That way, if communication is not something which is necessarily spoken in English, communication is something which is reaches to the people. Like people can come and express their feeling. They have this power to this. I was also the part of your communication tool. I am happy that you are convincing people in their acceptable language where they can really communicate themselves well. I work with a community called Muggavida, a Cesar folk community in Mangalore. They don't know English, Hindi, they don't know that. These were the only two languages known to me. I stayed there with them for 44 days, worked with them without any guide. And when I came back, I wrote about them. My writing was so effective that the Chief Minister of Karnataka created a huge this thing of Avakka Mahadevi and they acknowledge me. If you read anything of Avakka, make it sure in the reference there will be one name, Kailash Kumar Misra. And if it is not there, it is not a word on Avakka. Avakka was a 4th, 15th century first female warrior of India who fought against the Portuguese and visited that area. Avakka and her mother. She was a Jain. She was an ardent devotee of Shiva. In her army there were Muslims and Muggavidas. So that is a very, very rare thing. What I wanted to say, it is not the language that matters. It is your culture, it is your commitment, it is your caring of culture. You know, India, we always say that India is a melting pot of cultures. So if we starting respecting our culture, understanding, designing our programs according to the cultural limitations and cultural qualities and cultural areas of specific people, we are going to get success in any area. When we are talking culture, we can't talk culture without women. So we have to respect our women. We have to create job opportunities according to cultural boundaries of that area. And if it is done, it's a wonderful thing. Thank you so very much.